I'd like to welcome you to the Oklahoma City chapter of the Second Amendment Association. Let's stand tonight for prayer and for the pledges. Lord, we're thankful that we're able to come and peacefully assemble tonight. We're able to discuss the freedoms that you endowed with our country. We pray tonight, Lord, that you'll be with our nation. We pray that you'll be with those who are protecting our freedoms, both here and abroad, that you'll give them the protection and wisdom as they execute their duties. We pray for our elected leaders tonight. Lord, never have we seen a time in which our leaders needed more wisdom than they need now. We pray, Lord, that they will consider guidance from you, that they'll look at the founders, look at what the freedoms that they gave us, and make wise decisions. We pray, Lord, tonight as citizens that we would uphold those freedoms, that we would voice our opinion. We thank you again, Lord, for the country that you've given us. In Christ I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Okay. August, and we have a packed house. All right. First things first. What? Who you're pointing?
BC?
Huh? What? Oh yeah, we're getting ready. I know. Yeah. But we're going first things first.
Yeah, right.
First time visitor. First time you've been to an OK2A meeting right here. Look at all those. Almost half the room. Now I know a lot of those hands were Murray State College firearms repair and building firearms. What is it? Gunsmithing. Yeah, see, there's a word that fits that kind of. That's why you guys go to college. You know, help the rest of us on that kind of stuff. It's great to have you guys here tonight, just to see what's going on and be a part of this. And I know you're probably thinking, well, we're heading to Van's Pig Stand here in just a little bit, so we sure hope this guy gets this over with. See, some of us are on the inside. Of course, it's never a meeting. It is never a meeting without Bobby Cleveland in Stand up for a second, Bobby, so these people know who you are. Stand up for a second. There you go. Okay. That's a former state rep, Bobby Cleveland there. He thinks he's a constitutional kind of guy and was pretty good about that, and he's still a great supporter for us, so we appreciate him. Let's see. Oh, hang on. I got all this other way. Okay. I want to remind, and a lot of you guys, Facebook Live, start typing in what parking lot you're at, what Moms Demand Action meeting you're at, whatever's going on there. What's that? A Beto meeting that you're at. Get all the good ones we're at there. Type in. We're going to try to take some questions if we can, but this is going to be a pretty busy night. There's a lot of stuff going on. Also, Mr. Roberts, I saw you back there. Don't let me forget before we hear any other people that are running for a office. I want to give you just a couple of minutes to speak. So anyone else that's running for an office that's here? Nope, just the one? Two? Okay. All right. I'll make sure I have you guys a couple of minutes to speak because I'll try to do that for everybody. Okay? Okay. All right. OK2A. We are not merely a gun organization. We are a liberty organization that just happens to realize it may take guns to maintain that liberty. And I find it pretty interesting that on our own Facebook stuff with more than 10,000 people on there that we've been accused of just being Second Amendment and that's all we need to stick to. And no, that's not, because one of the bills we took care of this year and supported, and it is in our grading system for this year, was Senate Bill 361, which made sure college students would have free speech on a college campus and there would be no repercussion as a result of it. It's because just guys just like you, I'm fed up with the higher education system when people come and tell me, well, we'd like to have our gun stuff here, but I'm afraid that they'll kick me out of school or make my life miserable. Well, those days are going to be over with because now you can end up getting a free tuition out of it. That's how that works. And the law set got some pretty good teeth into it too. So that's one of the things we work in just not along with Second Amendment issues. Now, maybe some of you guys, oh yeah, I always forget this too. OK2A's job is to take the stupid out of gun laws, Oklahoma gun laws. And we've done that for almost 10 years now. And in fact, our October meeting is going to be our 10th anniversary, plus we're going to have our awards meeting that night. Okay, so we'll get that date down to calendars and we'll keep you guys informed of what's going on with that. Now, some of you may noticed, you guys remember some bill called constitutional carry?
Yes. I vaguely remember.
It does seem like a long time ago, doesn't it? That was back in February. Well, maybe some of you noticed, but last week there was an attempt, and I'm going to be an I told you so. I told you. They're not going to stop. They're going to do whatever they can to not let it go into effect. And if it goes into effect, they're going to do what they can to take it away. That's why membership in this group is so important, because we are addressing the issues, even though you may not see it completely up front. So there was a referendum filed. And the referendum has to have, let's just call it 60,000 votes, just to keep it simple. Signatures for this to be, and it has to be valid signatures. It just can't be anyone walking down the street and they just grab it. It's got to be valid signatures. So this has taken place. The moms demand some action are pretty much in line with this. Did I say that right? Yeah, that is right. Okay. In line with this. And so I'm going to be going over some stuff about this, but I hate to say this, but I've got to stay vague on a lot of it, because guess who's watching tonight to see what we're planning or going to do. So it's going to stay, I'm going to give you as much information as possible. But one thing is for sure, they have to have the nearly 60,000 signatures. It has to be done by August the 29th. To collect that 60,000 signatures. Should they collect that 60,000 signatures, and should that be verified, it would keep constitutional carry from going into effect on November the 1st, and then would become a option for a vote. Not an option. It would come up for a vote in the following year of 2020. A lot of people think it would be in the general election, but actually it could come up on the first primary. It could come up within two. So obviously I would love for it to come up on the general election, because there's going to be a lot of people out voting, and everything we saw in our stuff, even the TV channels, which cracked me up. Do you support constitutional carry? The lowest one we saw was 70% in support of it, and there was 12, 15,000 people making votes on this. And then so from the House floor, I see 70% of the House floor vote for it. I see 85% of the Senate floor vote for it. So I'm pretty confident that's a real number out there, that 70% of the people saying, yeah, we're good with us having our rights. So this is I would not say it's a political stunt completely, but it is. But the fact is, they got money behind this. They've got people, they're paying $10 an hour to collect signatures. That's Bloomberg money. That's that's for every town, what is it called? Across every town against gun violence, or whatever it is. Now, I do find it very interesting. Their only concern is gun violence.
Yes.
So if there's a stabbing, somebody dies from an opioid overdose, somebody car wreck, a doctor writes a bad prescription, any of these things that are more deaths as a result of that, that didn't matter. I mean, I can imagine these people going to a funeral and saying, oh, how'd your loved one die? Oh, well, at least it wasn't by a gunshot. Yeah. Like somehow that makes the loss of a loved one or a friend better. So just the mentality. So when they tell you that they want common sense gun laws, that is not what they're after. They're after taking your guns away from you. And we were going to talk tonight, and I was going to have an attorney here tonight to talk about red flag laws, but folks, we're setting that off the side because this referendum is up here right now. But the referendum, like I say, that's what would happen if everything falls in the perfect order for them. on this deal. Now, like I say, without going into too much detail, in their referendum, in the gist, we have, in fact, 2 lawyers called me today and found 2 other mistakes or problems with it. So even on technicalities, there are issues here. And then also in just the general information that what they give about the bill or the referendum is inaccurate also. So OK2A, I assure you, we are working with, and I've been on the phone with legislators today, yesterday, over the weekend, discussing this, making sure that we do have a reasonable type of reaction ready. I'm not going to go into much more detail on that, but you guys that have been around long enough to know, when I tell you we got a plan, we got a plan. Okay? Right? Yeah. In fact, I think I told you that more than twice just to get constitutional carry on the governor's desk. And people are like, oh, this isn't going to work. Okay. You guys go there and whine, but we're going to go get constitutional carry. So we not only did it once, we did it twice. And the second time, like I said, it seems like an eternity because that was back in February, signed into law and ready to go. And so this Hail Mary attempt is being done to get these. Now, that has to be 60,000 Oklahoma residents to get the signatures on there. That's going to be a pretty good uphill battle for them no matter what, but they've got the money behind them. So it is possible. It is possible. So again, we are working on it. And like I said, I don't want you to, I hate to not give you more specifics than that, but like I say, a lot of you guys know what a military battle, you don't tell the enemy what you're doing, unless you're friends. Right? Pretty much, right? So I'm going to do my best. If there's any questions on that, I'm going to take some questions on that, but like I say, I may still be vague on it. So has anybody got any questions on the referendum? So Bobby Cleveland wants to know where he goes to sign it. Is that right? Is that right?
Are those signatures voters or just citizens?
They are required to be registered voters of the state of Oklahoma. That is a good question because you go on a college campus, are you registered to vote? Yeah. And they may be from, Missouri or Arkansas or who knows where, and they could be signing this out, which makes it an invalid signature, and also could bring them up for prosecution of a felony for falsifying that they are valid on these signatures. How much that is prosecuted, I would doubt that is taken very serious on prosecutions.
Only if you're Republican.
Yeah, only if you're a Republican, maybe so. So anyway, that's a great question on that. And like I say, even if everything takes place, obviously we will be questioning the validity of the signatures of the petition. So,
John?
Yes, sir.
I think it'd be a good idea if we get an effort and we put locks around all the graveyards on the fences to keep the people from voting.
Actually, yeah, Mr. Cleveland's concerned that there's going to be a lot of previous voters voting, which could be a concern. But actually, I'm more concerned about literally just bringing out the roll of voters, and someone just sits there, just starts filling it out, just going right down the line. So, yes, ma'am.
Just real quick note, my dad passed in '07 and was still a registered voter in Stevens County until a couple of years ago, I think it was, when I inquired and got him taken off. So if everybody just check on your loved ones, or people that you know have passed, they may still be on the voter rolls.
Okay. That's something to think about, but actually they're supposed to be clearing off a bunch of those inactives. I think that's one of the things that's going on.
Because he didn't vote in an election.
Oh, well, okay. Well, that would still be an inactive. But anyway, is there any other questions on that? On a referendum? On what takes place?
Online question.
Online question, thank you.
Online question from Bobby is, unless the law is changed, doesn't one invalid signature void all of them?
In theory, yes. But again, they're going to strive to get more. In fact, even, I'll go ahead and tell you this. We got their email on their game plan. And their game plan is to get 75,000 to make sure that they've got 60 that are good. So, yeah, you guys may want to consider who you email stuff out to, because we got that the morning it went out. So anyway, but that is part of their game plan is to get 75,000 signatures, so they'll have at least 60 that are good. So that's how they're working on it. Yes, sir. Oh, someone's telling me to keep my mouth shut. But hey, I tell you what, though, it's kind of hard to keep your mouth shut on some of this. So I'm getting a whole lot. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. All right. So any other? Yes, sir.
We're the 15th state, maybe coming up with the Constitution. Have the other 14 states?
Great question. No, and I'm glad you said that, because that triggers what I needed to discuss about that. The reason Oklahoma is being attacked in this manner is because, one, it's the reddest state in the union, but they just put a Democrat in the U.S. Congress. So therefore, they're thinking there is a weak spot here. There is a chance to usurp this one way or the other, because if you can get, like I say, a Republican that's been in there for years and get beat in an election, literally just about pulled out the rug out from under him there, that they got a shot at repealing this. And if they can get one referendum to repeal, they think they could probably get the domino effect. But I am not aware of a referendum in any other state that has this, that's taken place to try to pull it back before it went into law. I'm sure there's been efforts to repeal stuff after it was in law, but as far as that goes, sir, I'm not aware of any at this point. So Oklahoma, they're sticking their toe in the water to see what they can do here, and they have no problem with the money to get that, to do that with, because like I say, they're paying people $10 an hour to go out and collect signatures. So I may apply for a job. Can you imagine what they'd look like seeing my name on an app? Oh, anyway.
Yeah, go to the prison.
No, I wouldn't go. I'd go out and collect names. See, okay, this is to kill all puppies. Would you sign here?
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that. Yeah, that'd be just what I'm thinking there. So anyway, so any other questions on that? No, we're not going to introduce a bill to kill all puppies. All right.
One more question online. This is from David. Wanted to know if a person could go and essentially protest where they're collecting signatures.
Okay, that's a good question. I appreciate that, because that's another reminder. If it's on a public property such as a library, the answer would be, let's not call it a protest. Let's call it an information time. Because protest has just got this ugly thing, and here's what they want. They want, and don't ever even think about doing this, they want someone to show up with a slung AK-47 or AR-15 walking up to one of these places to scare people off. That's what they want. Don't give it to them. I do not agree with one bit anybody even showing up at any one of these events open carrying any type of firearm at all. We don't need it. Because guess what's going to happen? Guess who's going to get the publicity, and guess who'll get extra signatures as a result of it? Yeah. It's going to happen. So again, I'll make it clear. I do not agree with, approve, or want any person showing up on any public property where one of these is taking place open carrying a firearm. We don't need the intimidation factor. Just keep it under your shirt or under your jacket, or as hot as it is, it'll be under your shirt, I hope. But, or, out of sight, and absolutely no indication that you have a firearm. It's, again, you've heard me say 1,000 times, it's not about the showing it off, it's about to be able to carry to protect yourself. And there are times people don't need to see you have one. This is one of those times. And don't give me this crap, you've got the right. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. It doesn't work. So that's a great question. I'm glad you brought that up. So at that point, what I would suggest, if you feel up to it, one, I don't care if somebody comes up and stomps your foot, you say thank you. I don't care if they come up and cuss you out, spit on you, do whatever. You make no response back. Because that's what they want, is a response from you. And guess what's going to be on the news that night? Exactly. So again, but if you want, and it's got to be on a public property. If you're on a private property, they can have you leave. So don't even waste your time going up there. So again, also if you go onto if they're taking signatures on a college campus or any type of school, do not have a firearm. It's a misdemeanor crime to go in there. Don't even do that either. So everybody see my point. Again, this is about optics. This is about, it only takes one goofball to screw this up for everybody. And this would be a perfect time for that to happen. I would not be completely surprised, and I'm going to say it right now, if they have a plant to do exactly that. Would not surprise me at all. So let's get ahead of this. Folks, they may put a plan out there to make us look bad, and by the time the 29th rolls around, before it could all be straightened out who it was, what, and where, it wouldn't matter at that point. So again, we've seen some crazy theatrics across this country. That would not surprise me at all. Yes, ma'am.
And you know for a fact that Moms Demand Action have gun owners in their ranks, so that was very positive.
Yep. Yeah, they've got some that brag that they're sensible gun owners, and but they still want to make sure they're so sensible. They want to make sure you can't have your guns unless with their permission, which is not likely to happen. So any other questions on that? That was a great question. I'm glad you brought that up. Any other online questions? Hey, you guys online are doing great. All right. Yes, ma'am, I'm going to charge you by the question.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. What is it?
Do you have any suggestions on what we might put on a poster?
Ah.
I want to be nice.
Okay. My Second Amendment rights are worth keeping. Don't sign the referendum. Something like that. Yeah. Or the other one too is don't sign your rights away. Yeah, that's what they're doing. This is, I mean, we got some good teachers in that legislature, and I'm proud of them. But I'm telling you, folks, this is public education. It is so sad that this is going on. And can you imagine here? Let's fill out a referendum so we can take voting away from women. Get rid of the 19th Amendment. Everyone good with that? What?
That's constitutional.
Yeah, you're right. Let's another one. Hey, that slavery thing worked out so well. Let's give that another try. Let's repeal slavery. Yeah, I mean, right. You know what? It would be great if law enforcement could go through everybody's house anytime they want, just to make sure you're not breaking the law. Anyone okay with that one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Oh, and by the way, we're not going to let you carry your gun. We're not going to let you carry a Bible either, or any other publication. Good with that? Let's referendum that away too. That's basically what they're doing. That's how ignorant this is. And you know what? I mean, I don't want to be unsympathetic. The stuff that has gone on in this country, these mass shootings, it's not the gun, it's the heart. And these people just crack me up that you pull God out of school, anything that look in a moral position at all is made fun of, and then they wonder why kids are now being raised on video games instead of their parents communicating with them, and then they wonder why these people are confused and challenged and upset and bullied, and then they go and do something crazy. So how do you fix it? You take away the gun. And show me one other thing at any point in history where government has screwed something up and government fixed it. Just just give it your best shot. I don't know of one. It just doesn't exist. So again, for this to fix itself, it's got to come from. It's got to be a change of heart, because that's the only thing that separates anyone in this room from being in prison in the same position. It's your heart on it. It's not just your head. It is your heart. So any other questions on that? You got another one there?
Just on the bill itself about medical marijuana. If you have medical marijuana, how does it affect, I guess, the constitutional carry?
Well, the medical marijuana was under a different bill. So I'm going to go ahead and say it does not affect that, because you would still be required to have an SDA license to carry a firearm outside of your own private property. So under constitutional carry, which what I love is it's just no one's business. For self-preservation, it's up to you to defend yourself, and if you think you need to, it's not up for government to decide whether you can or not. And what also I want to make sure it's clear too, with the medical marijuana, that's still such a fluid issue because of the federal government's direct opposite of what Oklahoma law is. You're still going to have to be super careful no matter what. And also I've been, I don't know if this is a good time, but I'll go ahead and say this too right now. I've watched on the news about once a week, one of these dispensaries are being robbed at gunpoint. At least. And I don't know if the growers are experiencing that or not. If the stuff comes out of state, I don't know. But I've entertained the thought of running a bill specifically to include in the business owner's rights, where it says very clearly it includes the protection, along with a church and any other business, a licensed cannabis dispensary be included in absolute safety inside that business. Now again, I've never been in one. I don't plan on going to one. I've never consumed the product or a prescription or not ever. I'm not a fan of it. But again, self-preservation around a legal product in this state should not be scrutinized any other way. It should be no scruple for any person to defend themselves. And here's the other thing about these dispensaries. They pretty much have to deal in cash. Yes. Because the credit thing is, the banks won't have nothing to do with them. So I mean, it's a pretty rich target. And also I feel for these folks that start these up, because you'll look and, I mean, they're just trying to start up a business. They can't put bars on the windows and much more on the doors other than just the lock there. But I mean, just for them to leave, or they get hit, they need to be able to protect themselves. And like I say, I was thinking about this today, and so, but like I say, it's just, and also I'm amazed at how many of these businesses have sprung up in the last year. So there's a lot of targets out there for people, and we also know, you can put the law can say you can't carry your gun in there, and they can put that plastic sign up, but we also know that there's just evil people are going to go in there and just do what they can. And, but here's the same thing. People are just about as desperate to get in that diamond store too. Yeah. So it's, the product is of value. The business owner's life is of value. They're paying astronomical taxes to deal with that product. They've worked real hard so they could. And so the way I look at it is I'm going to try to deal with some legislators that will look to the sincerity of the issue and not let the peripheral of the previous 100 years of marijuana be a determining factor in whether they should run the bill or not, or vote for the bill. So again, that's where we're at, and it'll be kind of touchy, but like I say, man, people are getting robbed that are just running a business. So that needs to end, or at least they should be able to defend themselves, knowing full well they don't have to concern themselves with a charge of being in their own business on their own time to protect themselves. Any other questions on that? There she is.
As far as I know, I'm an advocate. I've worked on this issue for decades.
Okay.
As far as I know, I know 788 did not negate my right to carry or to defend myself.
That's correct.
And didn't negate anything. The only problem we're having is the change in the federal forms where it asks if you use, it specifically refers to marijuana.
Here.
Used to refer to it with.
Okay, the question was in the bill 788, state question 788, that it did clarify in there that a person's right to firearm with the prescription was not to be basically questioned, and that's fine. Where this has to be fixed is at the federal level. I had this conversation with Senator Langford, and I can't say it was real warm, embraced, and so on. And that was also just before the election and the House Democrats took over. So that naturally would slow things down too, because the Democrats are not going to play favorites on this. They're going to make sure you don't have a gun. They don't, and they're going to make sure they have their marijuana. They're going to make sure it's going to go both directions on it. So, but like I say, yes, ma'am, the federal law needs to bring marijuana under a Schedule 1 and just fix this like that. It won't surprise me if it happens right before an election. It won't surprise me. Yes, Mr. Roberts.
It's my understanding that if you have your medical card, you can keep the guns you already have. You'd be prohibited from buying any new guns that you would have to fill out the 4473 for.
Okay, we're not going to get into that part of it here because, again, it's so fluid, and the attorneys advise me don't get into this too deep because it's still constantly changing. And our OK2A, we are very, very healthily prideful of making sure we have accurate information that goes to you. And that's not a part of it. Yeah, Josh.
Anybody has more questions on that, they can feel free to contact me or Robert.
Yeah. Well, actually, what we're going to do is, Mr. Robles, I was actually going to have him here tonight talking about red flag laws. But that again, like I say, even though you have a medical marijuana card, even though you have a handgun license, even though you have a firearm, and even though you have a legal prescription, the federal government can still come in and get you. I don't want them to. They shouldn't. It's none of their business. But that is under the current, and it's what's keeping us so fluid. So there you go on the medical marijuana issue on that. Any other questions? Awesome. All right. Maybe some of you guys heard before this referendum started that there's this little park over here in Oklahoma City that's opening up. You're going to have a concert next month. I think it's on the 27th, whatever that Friday night is. It's Scissortail Park. And Scissortail Park is a public trust property that OK2A just made sure. We already knew we could carry on a public trust property, but we made sure and explained this to the legislature and to the governor who signed it that, yeah, you can carry on a public trust property. It's clear. So I invite everyone possible, and you have to, so at this point, you'll enter through one single gate to go in. Now I'm going to ask when I get there, and I don't need anyone else doing it, and if I get the opportunity with the city leaders, I'll ask, is this what they do to minorities? Make all the minorities just go in one single gate? Is this what? If you're what religion are you? Oh, well, then you have to go in one single gate. What height are you? Or you're carrying a Bible. You have to go in one single gate. So we're going to question this, but later, because I'm telling you, folks, them knowing you're going to be peacefully carrying a firearm into that place, they hate it. And they hate it. The taste is more they can stand. Because the mayor said if it was up to him, we wouldn't be able to do it. But what was the difference between the mayor's comments and what the law finally came out? What's the difference? Our determination. You're not going to walk on our rights. You're not going to even think about walking our rights. We're tired of it. We've experienced it. It's over with. And so that message has been sent loud and clear to the Oklahoma City Zoo and also to the Tulsa River Park Authority, which are both public trust properties. Now let me explain real quick what a public trust property is. It's this quasi thing. The city, a municipality, owns the dirt. And so they develop a board of people, say, here we have this dirt. We don't want to have to mess with it. We're going to have you 5 or 7 people. We're going to give you money, and then you're going to take care of whatever's on the dirt. So if it's a park, if it's a zoo, that's how this works. So then the zoo or the park says, okay, well, we're going to be taking outside money in to make this work. So therefore, we decided we're a business. Well, but you don't own the dirt, and then you're being subsidy, which the Oklahoma City Zoo is $1 million a month. A month. And they want to say, no, we're a private business. And we're like, No, that's not going to work, which I think some of you guys saw the video of that. It didn't, there's going to be some officers that are going to learn the hard way that that's not going to fly anymore, to have someone leave who's peacefully sitting eating a hamburger, which, by the way, I think we need to go back Friday, November 1st, and all have a hamburger at the zoo. All right? You're in or out? You'll go? Okay. So that might be on our agenda for the day, because they'll hate it. They'll hate it. Because some of you guys were at the trust meeting that one day at the zoo, and just, oh no, we're so much wiser. Oh no, you can't bring your guns in here. We're concerned about the safety and all that stuff. And like, well, we are too. That's why we want our guns. We've seen what happens when people don't have guns. Walmart. We've seen what happens at government buildings. We've seen what happens. And they say, well, these animals are well caged. Yeah, but what about the ones out in the parking lot? What about those? And, there's a mama bear who wants to protect herself even though she's pushing a stroller. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. So that's one of the things that's going on. And like I say, this would not have taken place if OK2A was not moving this. Period. It would not be happening. You can thank, we've had help with major gun groups, but it's right here is the driving force, folks. It's right here. It's people in this room. It's people concerned. And a lot of people just say, okay, we know it's messed up. Just show us what to do and we'll do it. And that's what OK2A is working with. We're making sure you know that. And again, so if you're not a member of OK2A, and I've had people say, well, I'm going to wait and see what you guys can do. We've already done it. We've done it over and over with over 130 positive changes in state law. We're going to make sure a referendum doesn't go into effect. This doesn't happen by itself. Last Friday, I had a meeting with 2 attorneys, a state legislator, doing a game plan. I've been on the phone countlessly with others, making sure we've got the game plan. I had 2 state senators call me today. Okay, keep me informed. My informed list continues to grow. So also, before I forget, folks, I know there's a lot of you want to ask me questions and stuff. And so if I'm not getting back to you as soon as I can, I like to, you just got to understand what's going on here, because it's a lot. It's a lot. Yes, Kendall.
May mention also that on the public trust, it's concealed.
Will do. Thank you. On the public trust property, currently, and I say that with big letters, currently, it will only be able to carry a concealed, which would only be a handgun. But again, they hate the thought you being in there able to carry a gun. They hate it. And so I do like the thought of and before I forget too, and we did this, what's the Heidi holster that sits on your belt? Sneaky peeky. So you can be 90% open carried, because you can have your gun inside your sneaky peeky right out there on your belt, and they don't know if it's a cell phone. They don't know if it's something else, something to feed the birds. Who knows? They don't know. So and there's not going to be anyone there that could legally go and check you unless you allow them, which I strongly advise never allowing a person to search you unless they've got a probable cause, and that would only be a law enforcement on top of that. So that's where we're at that. But again, that's OK2A, and like I said, there's people that are mad at us. The Tulsa River Park Authority, I sent 20 certified letters to the Tulsa River Park Authority saying, okay, here's the law, and we sent that to every city council member, every trust member, the chief of police, and the mayor. There's not going to be any excuses, well, we didn't get it, we don't know. We did virtually the same thing for Tulsa and the Oklahoma City Zoo. There is not going to be any excuse by anybody. And every one of those people we sent that letter to is personally liable. Personally. And I have absolutely no problem going after them at this point. Doesn't bother me at all. We've warned you. We've been patient. And I've had people actually mad at me because we've been so patient. But again, with strategy, folks, just hang in there with me. Like, what are they stalling on? just hang in there, folks. Just hang in there, because it's going to happen. Either they're going to do what they're supposed to, they're going to come into compliance, or there's going to be litigation. It's that simple. Yes, Connie.
There's confusion on the Scissortail opening day. We do know that right now they're planning one entrance, but are they going to make people stay in that area?
That's a good question, and that's what I'm going to. I wasn't in a big hurry to find that out. I think what they're going to do is, and they've got a catch-22 on this, and we'll go ahead and tell them because I don't care.
Repeat the question, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Scissortail Park. It was going to be whether we have to go into one area during that park, during that concert that night, or whether we're able to roam freely like any other citizens, basically what it comes down to. Now, if they have an area that is set up to sell beer, and it's set, and they've got the sign that says must be 21, and they've got the velvet rope or whatever, no, don't go inside of that. And my other advice is don't let anybody you don't know hand you something to drink. Don't let that happen. You're being set up to be charged with possession of alcohol and possession of a firearm. I assure you that could happen. All right, so anyway, my concern is if those areas it's basically like a bar, no, do not go inside that area. That is correct. Now, what we're going to watch for, and what we're going to call them on, if Daddy Joe Bubba goes over there to get him a beer, and he's got his 4-year-old kid with him. That would make they're allowing a kid to go into a bar. That's the Oklahoma City Police and their security allowing that. We'll go get you for that. If you're not going to let us in there, or if you're going to prosecute us, we're going to make sure you guys are prosecuted because we care about that 4-year-old. Like, who cares what dad's doing with the beer? But anyway, but you see the point. If it's going to be a bar, you better make it a bar. You know, if we're going to be prohibited from that area, that's what we're talking about. So that's why we're going to be sticklers on that. So again, Oklahoma City, I'm telling you, if there's a kid inside of that area, we're going to call you out on it. Why are you allowing children in an area where there's alcohol? That's by other law. Okay, I don't know what that means.
We should take video.
Oh, yes, that's true too. Pictures, video, be polite, because they hate that too. I found. So anyway, but that's what with Scissortail Park. Now, there should not be any other reason a person would be able to roam any other area in that park. If they think they're going to just tape off a 20-foot square area and only concealed carry people can be in that area, you've got a legal fight just looking for a place to happen. That will not work. That will not work. If you think you're not going to let us use a restroom because it's in the park and it's outside, that's not going to happen either. That will be an action. And it could probably be more desperate the sooner, depends how much you've had, who knows. But that's what it was, Scissortail Park. Now, I'll make it, again, I'm going to reiterate, the Tulsa River Park Authority has been the biggest abuser of this for years because they have stopped people such as myself who were peacefully, legally carrying a firearm and had no intention of going into Oktoberfest to drink alcohol, but there's other things to drink and there's food. I can go in there and consume without consuming alcohol and be perfectly fine and peaceful, and they have prohibited that illegally. That stops. If they attempt to do that again this year, that's it. They've broken the camel's back, and we're going to go on with litigation. Yes, sir.
Follow-up question on that from Tim online. He wants to know if you've sent a notice to Tulsa's attorneys, prosecutor attorneys, to make them aware of the changes in those laws as well.
Yes, the city attorney was also in that, the mayor. Like I said, 20 of them, folks. We sent it's like a buckshot load, right? We're going to get everybody. But yeah, everyone that mattered in that, the River Park Authority, the chief of police, the city attorney, the mayor. I mean, like I said, there's 20. I mean, we spend a couple $100 each time we pop one of those over there. That's where your dues, that's where your membership fees and stuff like that goes to make sure that this stuff is just not ignored. So that's part of that too. Now, I'm moving on. Is there any other questions on that? Scissortail Park, Public Trust? Okay. Now, this is how effective OK2A has been. If you guys remember my complaints for years and it's showing to you how the Oklahoma Coalition, which is a mid-sized coalition, which is a group of supposedly city leaders, state leaders, which included the Oklahoma Game Wardens Association. It includes Oklahoma Highway Patrol. It includes the OSBI. It includes, so that emails would go out that would go against constitutional carry, and it would have this list of 40 groups that said, we don't want this. We have the first group that said, we didn't know they had our name on that. We don't like that. We don't want nothing to do with that. We're demanding and sending them a letter to have our name pulled off of that. This is a big deal because that's the pendulum is starting to chisel, or the chisel's coming away. So each time, like I say, I made sure the Game Wardens Association knew this. They never took their name off. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol Troopers Association, they never took their name off. But now we've got the first one, which is the Oklahoma Municipal League. They're saying, you know what? And it's funny how things come together. Because I was contacted by someone in the league, and he said that, you know what? We want our employees to be able to carry since everyone else is going to be able to. So, okay, we'll work on that. So I've already wrote a bill. We've got a basic idea for it to move that forward. So here is someone that was, whether they knew it or not, was working against us. Now wants us on their side, folks. That's how you get things done. That's how you get things. You don't get it done by going up and screaming at people. You get them just by being consistent and persistent and moving on. And that's a perfect example of it. So I think that was when I said getting a phone call. Okay, now what these folks they haven't. Okay, so I'll take the call and listen to the guy and go from there. And it turns out he's a gunner. Go figure. So and they don't like being naked in those buildings in your municipality, especially when the county people can carry in their buildings. So yep. So you can see how this is going next year. If we get this passed, next year we'll go down to state employees need to be able to protect themselves in that state building. So and that's how we're going. Also, capital carry. Yeah, we're going to push that like crazy this year. That's one of the other ones. Also, something campus carry. You guys ever heard of that? Yeah. We're getting ready to make a run on that too. Yeah. And you know why we're going to do campus carry? You want to know why? Because they said we couldn't get it done. But that's what they said about constitutional carry. That's what they said about carrying in a church and carrying in so many other places that we've repealed back. So we're making sure that we're going to keep that rolling forward. All right, let me see what else I've got here. Okay, I'm going to try in November. One of the board of directors of OK2A is some guy named Dan Fisher. You guys familiar with that? He ran for governor. He was a former legislator. He's going to bring his gun collection up here. And I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it because I got to hold a firearm just last week that Geronimo held. Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, and no drooling on the guns, but that'll be up here. Also, let me see.
Bring gloves.
Bring gloves. Yes. Friday night, the Oklahoma Constitution newspaper is presenting. It has a dinner Friday night in Midwest City. They're presenting me with an award, which I thought was, I've given a few of those out, but I don't tend to get those. So that's going to take place it's the Red Convention Center in Midwest City at 6:30 p.m. If someone is interested in going, yes, you do have to buy a ticket and stuff. But anyway, that's taking place Friday night. The Oklahoma Constitution newspaper. That's who's putting up. Actually, a conservative newspaper.
Yeah, 40 years.
Yeah, they're having their 40th anniversary, and so they invited me to show up, and I said, well, what are you cooking? No, I didn't ask that.
Is there some sort of event set up?
It's a dinner.
Like an online event that you can...
That part I do not know. I just that's all I know, and I'm sure they'll take at the door, and I think it was like $55 for one person, $100 for two. So they're conservative constitutionalists. You didn't expect it to be free, did you? Right. I mean, we don't have the money that some of the red shirt groups do. So anyway, Yes. I thought someone had a question there. Let me see if I've got everything else. Okay. We got some of these. Oh, yeah, thank you. Oh, and naturally, I forgot to. Folks, the T-shirts are in. Have any of you guys got the OK2A T-shirts, the new ones? What? Yeah, there's some in the back. Okay. Yeah, no, he doesn't have it on. He's just got it. The T-shirts, please go on there and order. We had people beat us up. Well, I want to get a T-shirt. Get a T-shirt. Go on to the OK2A website, which, by the way, we've just cleaned it up and upgraded it and stuff. It's looking real good. Go on there. You can get the link to go to get your T-shirts and stuff too. All right. So get a T-shirt and be somebody, because you're not anybody till you got an OK2A T-shirt. Then also, for those of you that like to read magazines, yeah, there you go. Those of you that like to read magazines, what we're going to be doing, you'll get one of these if you join at a $20 a month recurring member. You will receive one of these OK2A magazines. I think they hold M&Ms. I don't know what the other purpose would be for those. It's a Pez. Yeah, Pez dispenser. Thank you. It's a Pez dispenser. All right? So we'll have those. The membership forms are up here. College students, you can join this organization for $10 for the year. That will put you in the drawings. And speaking of drawings, we won't be having any raffles anymore because we've been selected out because the Square, which is the money credit card processor says, nope, you can't have guns or do raffles or anything like that. So we're not doing raffles anymore. But, we have been known to give away certain items to members. And so I have every intention for that to happen. It will not be a raffle.
Still do it by mail.
Sorry?
You can still do it by mail.
Yeah, you can still do it by mail. Here at the meetings is the best way. But anyway, any person that is a recurring member is automatically in for any drawings we have. So it's going to be a recurring member. All right, starts at $5 a month, 10, 20. We've actually even got some $100 a month recurring, or $50 a month recurring members. So don't be afraid to jump on that bandwagon, because if you like your rights being returned back to you, that's how it's done, folks. It just takes money. I hate to be I feel like a plastic preacher up here just trying to beat people up, but there's no other way around it. It just takes money to people say, well, I'm not paying for my freedom. Well, you're going to pay when you lose it. And there it is. So, all right, let me see if I got anything else here. That, T-shirts, I did that. So pork. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Here, I got these too. Let me do this. We had these made up. These are the carry guides. This is a quick reference to the existing and new laws that are going into effect. So everyone says, well, I need something to pocket reference. Right there it is, folks. Constitutional carry, carrying on a public bus, carrying on private property. Pretty much most of the rules are right there for you. And it also reminds you don't carry on an educational facility, whether it be elementary, secondary, VOTEC, blah, blah, blah. All right, so that's what these are for. We're going to, November. You guys have been asking for it. Here it comes. We will have a booth set up at the Wanamaker Show in Tulsa. Yeah. I want to thank Wayne Hill. Wayne Hill has orchestrated that. Mr. Miller here made sure we had a good-looking booth ready for it. We've done that. And again, I'm going to invite people to show up there, because if you can't find what you're looking for there, you don't know what you're looking for. It's there. Now, I want to take just a minute. Mr. Roberts, why don't you come up here? I know you're running for a chair. I forget which one. Come on up here. Come on up here. We like to make sure, I'll give you just a couple minutes. I know it's not much, but you can get your word out there. We've endorsed you before, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, but anyway, we've endorsed Mr. Roberts for. I'm going to let him tell you where he's running, what district he's running in and stuff. But OK2A, we've made a big effort, and the scorecard for OK2A votes will take place very soon. You're going to see that real soon. So anyway, Mr. Roberts, go right ahead there.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate that. My name's Eric Roberts. I'm running for House District 83. That's basically Southwest Edmond, Northwest OKC, a little bit of the Village, and a little bit of Nichols Hills. I'm a businessman. I've been in business over 26 years, and I feel we need more business principles down at the state capitol.
Who's seated?
It's Chelsea Branham. She's a Democrat. She beat Jason Reese, and it was an open seat because Randy McDaniel had that seat, and he turned out. So it was an open seat, and she barely won. And I'm a concealed carry. I've also got my federal firearms license, so I'm very pro 2A. And like I said, I feel we need more business principles down at the state capitol. So if you want any further information about me, I'll hang around afterwards. And also, you can catch my website at ericrobertshouse2020.com.
All right,
and then that's
perfect.
it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Mr. Ballard, we got another one in here. Mr. Ballard's been in here before too. Come on, sir. Good to see you again. Come on in. Give me a spiel.
All right. Some of you already know me. Some of you don't. My name is Michael Ballard. I'm running for the congressional seat, District 5, presently being held hostage by Kendra Horn. A little bit about myself. I'm retired from the United States Army back in May of 2010. I'm married. I say it's 100 years. My wife says it's 200 years. But either way, it's been a while. We've got 2 grown kids out of the house, yes, and 3 grandchildren and 1 on the way. The reason why I'm running for Congress is the same reason why I joined the United States Army, to defend my Constitution, to defend my country, my state, my family, your family. I am totally against any type of law, anything to limit our Second Amendment. Red flag laws, it takes away your due process, I'm against it. If it limits your gun rights, I'm against it. I have a Facebook page, Michael Ballard for Congress. I have a website, Michael Ballard for Congress. I'm retired, like I said. I can stay out in the parking lot and talk to midnight answering any kind of questions. If you'd like to know some more, if you'd like to donate, that'd be great. But anyway, keep fighting the fight.
Absolutely. Too bad. Which reminds me. Yes, Josh? Oh, I'm sorry. Come on up here. I'm sorry.
Came in late.
Well, come on up here. Hang on right here because I'm going to talk real quick. This is why this is important. Because last Sunday night in Stillwater, Oklahoma, at a Moms Demand Action meeting going for signatures, State Representative Republican John Talley spoke at the meeting. He has an F rating with OK2A. This is why OK2A is important, so we can help guide you on who we need to have in office to protect the Constitution. But a person like John Talley of Cushing, I think it's Cushing area, is absolutely, completely inconsistent with the values of the people in his district and this state. And that's why we're calling these things out. I don't care if you're a Democrat, I don't care if you're a Republican, an F rating. There's Democrats with better voting records than he has. So, not a lot better, but better. So anyway, that's why this is important that we take just a few minutes, and I want you to go back and talk with these folks, and just see what they've got going. But like I said, we've endorsed 2 before. McMaster, I've seen so many faces. I'm sorry, and he's a new guy, kind of. But anyway, I'm gonna let you speak just for a minute. You betcha.
Good evening. My name is Robert McMaster. I am also running for House District 83, as Mr. Roberts pointed out. I'm originally from Mississippi, born and raised in the South. Like most of you, I believe in the big R, God-given rights, and I don't believe that government should tell us what we can do with our rights. I don't think there should be laws out there that limit our Second Amendment. I don't think there should be laws out there that limit our First Amendment. I believe in being fiscally responsible. I believe in healthcare reform, education reform, and setting up a good system of laws that protect the good people and put the bad people where they need to be. Thank you.
I miss anybody else that's running for office? And you know, this is one of the rare nights that we don't have a current sitting legislator in the room. But where would we have put him? Okay, we're getting ready to, let me see if I missed anything else on here. Yes, sir.
Online question. They want to know where exactly they can get the trifold information.
Is it online?
Oh, it's going to be better than just online. If you're a member, we're going to email it to you. How's that sound? So we're going to email these to you. It's going to be on our website, even though it's not yet. We're going to be emailing this out as soon as tomorrow. In fact, we might even email it out tonight with the video that we send out too. But we're going to get this emailed out to you. If you're not a member of OK2A, this is what happens. It's so we can get all your information so we can get this information to you. But yes, this is a lovely, nice little threefold. But like I say, it's packed full of information. I'm seeing head shaking. Yeah, man, there's a bunch of stuff in here. And there is no doubt that when you carry this in your pocket and someone says, no, wait a minute, you can only conceal carry, you can only open carry, constitutional carry, conceal. No, right there it is. It tells you, and it tells the age, and tells you else, it tells you where not to be stupid. We don't need any more stupid people, right? Okay. All right. Are there any other questions in here? Yes.
Those are out on the tables outside.
Oh yeah, we've got it on the table outside there.
With some other pamphlets with membership forms on the outside.
Memberships are out there. Also some stickers out there. Guys, don't use those for targets. You'll have to come up with your own targets.
The website that they can order written out there.
The what now?
The website for the shirts all put out there so they can go on.
Oh, yeah.
People in the room.
People in the room. Okay, gotcha. So you kind of lost me there for a second. Okay, well, folks, like I say, that's a lot of information going here tonight. Like I say, if you don't think OK2A is handling it for you, you're just not paying attention. And like I say, just continue to watch. And I'm hoping we'll get to come back next month and brag and tell you what we did or didn't do. Okay. When you become a member, you can get these, because then Denise will mail them to you, just like that. All right. And they can, what are these? Go in the bumpers and windows, walls, gun cases. Oh, okay. All right. So before we break out here, is there anything else before we get out of here? Yes, sir.
Are you going to offer the magazines for sale later on?
Yeah, we'll have to, because there's people like you that'll want a dozen of them. But, and actually, we could. I mean, if you just had to have one tonight, we can make a deal. For people that are already members, I think we said it was going to be $25. So you know, not.
We have 30.
What?
We have 30.
We got a bid for 30.
35.
Okay, let's do this.
Got 40.
Do we want to auction one off right here tonight? All right, let's do this. Let's auction one off right here tonight. Okay, we're going to start $25.
50. He said 35.
$50. 50 bucks. Who's 50? Oh, come on, don't stop at 50 bucks. 60 bucks. Hang on. Kendall, hang on. I got 60 bucks in the back. Who wants 60? Who's got, come on. I mean, hey, you'll be the first one out of here with one, folks. This is just like the Home Shopping Network. This is lovely. Look, it's got on both sides, too, so it should be worth doubles of 60, right? 60 bucks.
Put number 1 on it.
Number 1, okay. We'll do something like that. All right, 60 bucks. Is that it? Going once? Going twice? Anthony Kyle just bought it for 60 bucks. Good job. Okay, we'll do this too. Any of you college students, are you members? No, none of you guys are members? Any of you plan on signing up? Who's planning on signing up tonight? The college students? No, I'm picking on the college students. You are? Are you a college student? Are you in with the group? So you're the only one that's going to sign up? Well, look what happens. Are you a college student? 3? And these 3 guys are signing up tonight? Well, you guys are getting one for free for signing up. There it is. Because I can owe Anthony. I can owe Anthony. All right. All right, I will fill these out. Because with your $10 membership, you're leaving with a nice magazine. You only have to show it off on campus. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. All right? Because we'll make sure you guys get out here with something. All right? So again, what else? Was that it? Any other questions? U.S. Law Shield is in the house tonight. Anyone that's not a member of U.S. Law Shield, you carry a gun, you are crazy if you're not a member of U.S. Law Shield. All right, Josh is back there tonight. Anyone who wants to sign up, he's back there. Answer any questions with that too. All right, and again, which is amazing, tonight I just noticed Bobby Cleveland is still in the house. That is amazing. All right, folks. Yeah, close to his bedtime. Yeah. All right. Yeah, them chickens already roosting, aren't they? Okay. All right, folks. Have a safe time going home. You guys, Murray State, thanks for making it tonight. Don't eat too much barbecue. Y'all have a good day.